Here you go. Oh, very cute, Tara. Don't just bite it. I think that works. I think that works. I think we actually have a Jules.
Hello.
I
I'm
think
on the stream.
This is a real thing.
Hello, everybody.
Check this out, guys. We have this brand new FamilyJules Track Pack, which actually has 2 songs already played in it because I already played a couple of them early because I'm a bad boy. My thoughts were that we would play through them all if you have the time for them, because 15 songs isn't too bad.
I got nothing but time.
Nothing but time? Hell yeah. Is there anything that you'd prefer to start on or anything that you'd prefer to showcase first?
Honestly, this seems pretty chronological. Hyrule Field was actually the first cover for YouTube that I ever worked on with CS Guitar 89. Before I had, well, there are some hidden videos that people don't know about and shouldn't know about that are still up on YouTube somewhere. If you can find them, good for you. I'm not going to acknowledge that it's me. But before I made my first cover, which was the GoldenEye medley, I actually hit up CS Guitar 89 and I was like, hey, I know I have no videos to my name, and you have no idea how good I am at guitar, but do you want to do a collab? And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Dude, that's so rad.
So,
how cool.
And this was the product of that.
Give us a little bit of information about yourself. There's a lot of people here who have no idea who FamilyJules is, or
Keep
what
it
you
that
do.
way. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. Yeah, I'm FamilyJules. I do video game guitar covers on YouTube. I've been doing it way too long. Somebody told me recently that somebody has entered high school and graduated from college from the point at which I started YouTube and the point that we're at now. So I've been doing this for about 8 years now. 99% of my content is rearrangements of video game music on guitar and metal. I don't really arrange them in a way that's like, hey, look at me play guitar. I'm more kind of showcasing like, here's how the song would have sounded like if it was done with a metal band. So a lot of my videos, I'm going between different guitars, like rhythm guitars and bass guitars and programming drums and stuff like that. And I've been doing it for a long time. Many of these past 8 years, I've been doing this weekly. So a new video game cover every week. I'm pretty sure I have the largest single person library of video game covers. I don't know too much about remixers, but I mean, I've covered at least somewhere in the range of 700 to 1,000 different video game songs.
Jesus, dude, I did not realize it was that extensive. Holy.
Well, I do a lot of medleys, so like the medleys each will have 7 to 10 songs in them, and I'm including those because
sure.
To be fair, I have about 300, probably like 310 videos, single videos on YouTube.
Right. Damn, dude. So this is Hyrule Field, and you said this is the first cover that you put up?
That I worked on, not released, because this came out like maybe 2 months after I released my first video. But
so let's get into it. I'm gonna start it up. You tell me about it. We'll play it in the background. Go ahead. Tell me a little bit about this one, man. Oh, hi, Tara. You involved now too? Okay.
Anyway, so I arranged this whole thing in Guitar Pro, and I think Casper, CS Guitar 89, who's a wonderful YouTuber. He doesn't really make video game covers anymore, but he's got an amazing library. He is one of the main influences for me to get into this. I hit him up and I said, hey, would you like to do this dueling guitar arrangement of Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time? And he was like, sure, yeah. And when I gave him the guitar profile, he was just like, whoa, I've never worked with somebody who was just like, hey, let's work together, and then they gave me like everything I need to do like that quickly and stuff. Like
That's incredible.
I was dedicated. Like I was like such an undying fan for CS Guitar 89 like up to this point that like I was like okay, I can't screw this up, And it kind of gave me some insight, because then what he would tell me later is that like a lot of people will hit him up and be like, I would like, let's do a collaboration, but then be like, okay, you do everything, and then he's just like, no, I don't have time to do that. Like, and I don't know. I feel like that was kind of a lesson in, I don't know if it's a lesson so much. It's just like, I realized that if you really want to like work with people, you have to really kind of, you can't like high school project it, right? Where you just like kind of like offset it to like everybody else, and then like do everything all at once in the last week of it being due. It's like that doesn't work with projects like this because there aren't actual due dates.
Sure.
So that's why you get so many music projects that never get done.
Right.
Because nobody really takes the reins. And I
Makes
feel like
sense.
especially with music, like I've always loved the production process of it. I've loved the arrangement process and like, you know, making stuff like that. So for me, I feel like that's not the case with a lot of people. A lot of people just want to play the guitar, you know, and like just play the thing and not have to worry about all of the logistics and details around it and preparation and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. We after we did this, we became really good friends. We still talk to this day.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean this video came out 8 years ago, and he's a super busy guy, but I still consider Casper like one of my better friends.
That's so cool, dude. What a neat way to get started on YouTube.
Yeah, he's my YouTube brother.
And this is from 8 years ago, and it still sounds pretty damn good, dude.
He mixed it. I didn't mix this one. I wasn't good enough to mix something like this. So like I remember we finished this up. I went to the mall and I bought new earbuds. And I was like, oh, Casper just sent me the new mix for Hyrule Field, and I listened to it on new earbuds, and it was like this like out of body experience of just like oh, this is how I could sound if I was good.
So, like, for someone like me who's just buying his first interface and, like, still having to learn all this stuff, I'm scared of that process, man.
Oh, dude, it's tough. It helps to have friends. Honestly,
It helps to
lately,
have friends.
I mean, I'm saying this as a lesson because I didn't back in the day. I'm just like,
That's
acquire friends, then acquire interface for me.
There you go, guys. Life
didn't
advice
mean
with
that.
Jules, right
I didn't
there.
realize that. I was actually gonna say that, like, actually,
We even get timing with the interview. The alert just went off for thank you. There you go. And life advice with Jules, right there.
get
Jesus.
friends.
Perfect.
Step for profit. No, honestly, lately one of the biggest helps has been 16 in mono has been a huge help for me because I mean, especially after this time, I've definitely gotten a lot better with my sound, how I mix, you know, what I find is a good tone and stuff like that. But still, when you're doing so many different things, because like every single like I actually recently wrote out an entire checklist of everything that I do when I do a cover like this for every week, and it's extensive. Like everything from, you know, finding all of the MP3s that I need to reference, seeing if there's any sheet music or tabs that I can use to help, and then learning everything by ear anyways, because there's never been a situation that there's ever been a tab that's been correct enough or a MIDI that's been correct enough that I can just, you know, plug and play. So then the arrangement process after learning what all the notes actually are, and then going through with recording new drum, or like, well, programming new drums, then recording bass, recording rhythm guitar, recording all this stuff. It's like, I mean, but then there's people that you know, like Brandon, who like he is so interested in the sound stuff, and it's just like, man, I would love to get good at this, but I just don't have the time with everything that I'm doing. So it's nice to have just like a friend, another set of ears to just be like, hey, please tell me specifically how this sucks so that I can fix it, you know?
So this is actually a cool way that we could even kind of transition here, because he's in the chat somewhere. And I know,
God.
I know that we have a chart in here somewhere with 16 in mono in it.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me which one that is, and we can go over into it? And
so that was Seymour Battle from Final Fantasy X. Apparently, I heard some of your charters are huge Final Fantasy X fans.
Oh, there we go. Sweet.
Those are my boys. You guys are my boys. Final Fantasy X, best Final Fantasy.
So
I mean, fight me.
I will gladly fight you, right, Tara?
Let's do it. Half of this production was me and 16 in mono playing with the newly released Superior Drummer 3 when it came out.
Cool.
He was visiting out here to do some work with Jonathan Young, and you know, like I was really excited for Superior Drummer 3, and it was coming out while he was out here. So it was like, oh, I don't get to play with it, and I was just like, well, yes, you do, because I'm getting it. And so yeah, a lot of us. Oh God, that hair! What was I thinking? Okay, so
I thought that hair was like a tribute to Final Fantasy X.
Probably. That's probably why I didn't cut it. I was probably like, oh yeah, this is some Seymour hair. Here we go. So anyways, yeah, like this was a cover that we really wanted to do together because we're both really big fans of progressive music, and it has a really, really cool 7/8 section towards the end. Or actually, I think I can't remember. He could probably answer this better than I can because we actually traded off doing drums for this. So half of the drum programming for this was me, and then the other half was him. And then he did all of the rhythm guitars and some of the leads. I think we split the leads in half, and then I did bass guitar. And it was really, really a seamless project. Like, the reason why half of the stuff went into just like playing with all 220 gigabytes of samples from Superior Drummer 3 was that once we actually got down to recording it, I mean, you know, he's very professional. He's very, very, very fast worker. Like, it came together like super quick.
Ain't that true? I've done a little bit of work with 16 in Mono, and it blows me away how fast he's able to put things out, man. He's working with us right now on a project that we're going to be doing very shortly, too. We'll talk about this a little bit later on, but the Dragon Force Community Project, looking forward to that, man.
That's going to be wild. Yeah, so, there's one section, I don't know if you got to it, because I've got the stream muted, but where he put emphasis on, like, the hits of this, like, I think it's just a 4/4 section, right, 16? But like made the hits it's kind of like a weird, like the melody is kind of syncopated with the beat, and he like made the drums to match that syncopation. It is 7. Okay, so it's a 7/8 section. He really like did a prog beat to like really put like strong emphasis on those syncopations, which is really, really cool.
That's friggin' awesome. And I'm gonna be totally honest with this too. This makes a damn good chart. This is fun as hell.
Yeah, dude. I always felt that charts that I should probably go through these on stream at some point myself. There it is. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, that little switch up in the rhythm messed me up. That was my first time I missed so far with these. That was rough, dude. Sounds great though. Damn, I love that. I really like how this video was shot too.
Yeah. We did that on our back porch.
This is on your back porch.
Yeah.
Jesus, that view is incredible on the back porch. I'm
it's
a little
really
jealous.
Nice view. Yeah, we got really lucky with finding our house.
That's so friggin' cool. Ooh. Ghost Cat in the chat just said he loves the lighting. I do also want to mention too, guys, if you in the chat have any questions for Jules, I do want to open this up with Q&A to you guys as well, because this is still something new that we're doing, and this is our kind of, I guess you could say, test run on doing things like this in the future.
The flagship.
Yeah, this is your trendsetter is what you are right now.
Test run implies that there's probability for failure. Well, I guess the Titanic was a flagship as well. So
let's go on to the next tune that's on the list. Oh wait, another Final Fantasy X one. All right, let's get this going. Oh shit. So this is still a little bit of an earlier one too.
Way early, dude. This was 2011.
2011, man. So how much has your process changed since then?
Honestly, like I feel like not too much, honestly. I think it's just I've gotten better at some things, but then with introducing new elements, such as like shooting videos more like music video style with a videographer.
Sure.
Utilizing more layers, you know, more advanced mixing techniques and stuff.
Right.
The actual like arrangement process, like the brute sections of each thing with like, you know, finding, you know, the assets I need to arrange it and then sitting down and tracking it. And then mix, master, shoot video, edit video. Things have gotten easier over time, but then I've introduced more things to make those specific jobs more difficult. It almost just kind of doesn't offset it at all, really. So like it's always kind of taking the same amount of time. But yeah.
Makes sense a lot. Joey D in the chat just said, Jules, is super cool of you to come on the stream and support the Clone Hero community. Your covers are sick.
No, you.
No, you. No,
yeah.
I think that's actually completely true of Joey, though. I do want to point that out. Thank you for the support, because you coming on and even allowing the music to be charted like this and to release a pack like this. Oh my God, I love that. That was so epic the way you just came in there. That was cool.
Oh, thank you.
That was neat. Like the that little like look to the camera.
I had at one point around the time that I was putting this out, I was obsessed with like finding forums and stuff where
Uh-huh.
people would post my covers and stuff and like see what people thought of them and stuff. And I remember seeing one forum where somebody posted this and they're like, hey, this is like a Zanarkand metal remix or whatever. And somebody was just like, wow, it's so fake. Like, you can tell that he's not actually playing the notes. Spoiler alert, I am. These are live video recordings of me playing everything. But then when he was pressed, he was just like, show an example. He showed an example where I played an open string. He didn't understand that you could play a string open and it would make a note. So there was like a big open D chord or something that I played on the open strings, and he was just like, he's not playing anything here, he's just strumming the strings. It's
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
That's like
pre-recorded, fake. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, well, hey, I get that here all the time too, because how in the world could we ever have all the timing that we have here on this stream if it's not pre-recorded, right?
It's impossible. It's like, what's the rule? If they're worse than you, they're a noob. If they're better than you, they're hacking or cheating. It's just the way the world works.
Rules to live by in life, right here. Fake, you didn't strum all the notes. That's the one we always see here. Oh
yeah, back for a long time, all of these videos were done live because I thought that's how you were supposed to do it. I was mortified to get comments like that if it was the case that I was faking it. You know, like I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do if you know, somebody exposes me. There's gonna be like a content cop on me or something. But no, it wasn't until recently that once I moved in with Jonathan Young, Rashadi B. And their whole thing is like, they don't do, you know, they do like music video style stuff. So they're not obviously recording that stuff while they're playing it. And they're like, dude, it'll make your process so much easier. And I found it doesn't, but it yields a better result because then I have to relearn. Like, the best thing about doing live stuff is like, I just have to know it once. And then I have to record it once to a video. Sure, it's on a tripod and you can't, you know, whatever. But like, for music videos, I have to go and learn the entire thing as one go, as if I was learning it as like a normal song. Like, I had to do that with rhythm guitars and bass, obviously. But like, when I was doing like lead guitars in these videos, it was just like, dude, it was like, just record that thing and then turn the camera off. You know, like, I didn't have to play the whole thing all the way through.
Hey, so there's a really cool question in the chat right now that I've heard a little bit about. But Rido, who has been talking a little bit, just asked about. Ooh, there was some feedback there.
I have no socks on and I touched my guitar cable. Sorry about that.
Is that what that was? That was.
Sorry about that.
But Rido was in the chat was asking about your panels that you've been doing recently. You've been doing video game music theory panels, and we talked about it a little bit when we last saw each other in person recently.
Yes.
But for anybody who hasn't heard about this, can you tell the folks here a little bit about the panels you've been doing recently about video game music theory?
Yeah, so for a long time, the only panels that I would do at conventions was how to be a YouTube musician, you know, because like, that's all I'm good at. You know, that's the only thing I have anything to say about, really, that anybody would even care about. And after a while, it started realizing it's just like, dude, this is so niche. You know, not everybody wants to be making music on YouTube. So how do we like branch out and like be able to bring interesting information to more people?
Right.
So I studied music. And PAX East was coming up, and I hit up Insane in the Rain Music and Sab Irene, who are two very awesome jazz video game cover artists on YouTube. And I was like, how cool would it be if we did an entire presentation showcasing the fundamentals of music theory to people who might not know anything about it, show them how chords work, how chord function, Roman numeral analysis works, and then show popular video game music and how those apply to that.
Wow.
Why you feel the way you do when you see stuff like this. So the Mario cadence, which is the I'm gonna lose a lot of people here, but the one flat 6 flat 7 1 progression is the flag thing. Like when you get the flag at the end of the game, it's the same exact chord progression as the Final Fantasy fanfare. Different melodies, same exact chords. That progression makes you feel like you've achieved something. Like, that's one example, but then we go into like how things can get kind of weird when you start like altering the chords, using chromatic mediant chords and stuff like that. Like, I'm such a nerd with this stuff, and it's really fun. So So I'm doing this at PAX West at the end of the month with actually Adriana Figueroa and Danny Baranowski. which is going to be interesting because
Danny Baranowski's there in it. That's awesome. Hell
yeah, so he's going to be
Okay.
doing it with me. I'm probably going to have to take the reins because like I've done this a few times, but hopefully what we're going to do is talk about in one aspect, like after we've shown all of the fundamentals of music theory, why Danny would have composed something a certain way as opposed to another way. He's a big fan of the Bach series counterpoint rules, such as avoiding parallel fifths and stuff, which
So like
in more
classic music theory there. Like,
oh yeah, super classic stuff. And he applies that. You know, you learn in kind of like music theory 2 and 3 and stuff when you're in college. It's just like, all right, throw that out the window. That's all like prehistoric, archaic stuff. But he utilizes those things in a way that I mean, objectively, some of the best video game music has come out from Danny Baranowski. Super Meat Boy,
I
Crypt
was
of the
just gonna
Necrodancer.
say, yeah, Super Meat Boy and Crypt of the Necrodancer immediately come to mind for me. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
And I was just gonna say, I'm sure we're gonna be talking about Crypt as well because you worked with them on that. But let's
Yes.
hop over into this next one too. 50.
Oh God, I just saw what
50
you're looking at.
50 video game themes in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Any thoughts on this other than just a blurb?
Yeah, so I was inspired by YouTubers like Rob Scallon. I'd seen his video where he played like every Metallica song in one go.
Yeah.
And Davey 504 did a video where he was like 50 video game songs, but it was like 8 minutes long.
Right.
And I was like, okay, like I could use my music theory knowledge of understanding how to do pivots, secondary dominant chord transitions to maybe make it even faster. Like 50 video game songs as fast as I possibly can. I remember I actually had 8-Bit Drummer over when I was working on this.
Okay.
And so I think he was actually kind of terrified because like the way I produced this, I feel like like before you play, this might give some interesting insight into why it sounds so chaotic. I had an entire spreadsheet of probably like 100 to 150 different popular video game melodies, listing the key, the tempo, the first note, the last note of the most memorable part of that melody.
Holy shit.
And then as like a Sudoku puzzle or something, I arranged it so every song ended with the first note of the next song and used that to pivot to the next song. Now, since there's only 2 minutes, you only sometimes hear 3 to 5 notes of a song, but the entire backing track is also fleshed out for you to be able to hear it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Let's check it out. 50 songs, 50 game themes in 2 minutes. All right.
A lot of changes. Have fun.
Guild Wars 2, Katamari Damacy. Oh shit, these transitions.
They're fast.
There's no way to prepare for what's coming next. Shit.
Nope. Jared plays this on his cast, too. Absolutely crazy.
I feel bad for whoever charted this.
I was gonna say, who did this, and why do they hate life? Who hurt them?
Oh, that was cool. Oh, Burp the Turtle did it. Burp is incredible. Shout out to Burp.
Did Burp use the tabs? Because that would have helped a lot. I feel like I did have every time signature and tempo shift in the tabs that are included on this video. So if he didn't use that, I'm incredibly impressed, and I think he's probably going to hate himself because that would have saved him a lot of time. Okay, so he did use the tab. I'm glad. Could you imagine if you didn't Burp, if you didn't use the tab and you figured this out all on your own, and then realized later that it was all listed?
Oh shit.
You got this.
Yo!
It's Banjo, dude. The Resident Evil section that you just played a little while ago, that's the hardest part to play on real guitar.
The Sims?
Yeah, who trusts? Adriana Figueroa actually found all of these video files for me too, while I was doing all the final preparations for the video to come out. So she specifically found like parts where I was playing guitar, or like the character was playing guitar, like in the Sims section.
Jesus, that face at the end was beautiful.
All right, so the next one that you should play is the follow-up that I released a month or two ago to this, which is 50 video game songs in 3 minutes.
Oh,
should be close to the bottom there.
So this is a newer one then.
Yes, so this one came out a month or two ago.
So this is the same concept, but with
3 minutes, and all different games that weren't in the first one.
All right, let's do it. Let's go. Viking, thank you for the 5 months, man. Welcome back, dude. Good to have you.
The original inspiration for this was all the comments that I originally got saying that 2 minutes wasn't long enough for anybody to actually enjoy the music. And while true, I was just like, okay, well, let's give you guys another minute and see if you guys like it anymore. And it turns out, no, I got all of them.
This is friggin' cool, too. Bop, bop, bop. Yes!
Had to do that one.
Oh, Zombie with the clickbait here. Are we just going to put these 2 songs back to back on YouTube? 100 FCs in 5 minutes?
So, I just got back from Com Bravo.
Yeah.
Where I played both of these live. Back to back.
That's awesome.
So, 100 songs in 5 minutes. 100 video game songs in 5 minutes.
What was the reception like to that? And how was Com Bravo?
Com Bravo was amazing. This concept, the 50 video game songs concept that I've been doing, these are some of the most best received live. I feel like these concepts are almost more well received in a live setting than they are on YouTube. Because again, when you're on YouTube, you're looking to enjoy the song, but I mean, I don't know, it's more like impressive and in your face if it's done live. So that was the other reason why I did this one. Is like I kept playing 50 songs in 2 minutes live, and I had so much fun, and people seemed to really, really enjoy it. But I was just like, that's just 2 minutes of my set, you know? Like I should do another one. So that's the other reason I did this one.
The more games that you're able to hit, the more chance there is that somebody that likes that song is going to hear of you. That makes sense.
Exactly.
To me. Yeah, dude. Makes a lot of sense to me. Oof.
Got some Toho in there. I'm a little bit delayed. I think I'm probably 5 seconds delayed.
Thank God for low latency, or else this would have been a lot worse in the past.
Yeah.
Shout out to Twitch on that.
Yeah, shout out to Twitch. I've done a few interviews like this. One with Man vs. Game way back in the day, where that was quite an issue.
Yeah, this is my first time actually having anybody on the stream like this in general. So, like,
awesome.
While I've interviewed people in the past, it's been a long time. And never while playing a game at the same time, so this is a new deal for me, too.
Excuse me, it's a new challenge.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. I will tell you, I'm having a real hard time reading everything from chat as well as normal.
Yeah.
Keeping up a conversation, reading chat, and playing well at the same time is brutal.
I also tried my absolute best with this medley to keep as much of the tempo the same throughout songs. So a lot of the songs are actually sped up or slowed down depending on the songs around it.
Oh, that was so cool. Guile into Final Fantasy at the end?
Yeah.
That's so sick. Hell
Good
yeah,
time.
dude.
Good time. That was a miserable shoot for both of those because I usually, as I said earlier, I don't do one take video.
Right.
Well, I do one take video, but I don't do it live, like live recording. And that was a live recording, extremely difficult lead line that I had to play for 3 minutes straight and not mess up once. So it was. I mean, I filmed that in this exact room, like right behind me.
Right.
It was many, many hours of playing it over and over and over again. And the worst part is, I have crippling performance anxiety, even in front of a camera.
Sure.
So, when I would get 2 minutes in, I literally had to tell myself once I started that I screwed up. Like I would have to say like, this is not the take because I messed up.
Right.
So when I was going through that, I didn't know that video, that take of that was the one that I was going to use. Because if I thought that I got everything right up to that point, my hands would start shaking out of just pure nervousness. I was like, I can't mess it up. This is the one. I can't mess it up. I don't want to do this anymore. You know, like I've been doing this for 3 hours. I can't. So the way I got over that anxiety was I would get a little ways in and then tell myself, oh, I screwed up Shantae or something, or like, oh, I screwed up Me Channel or something like that. So like, let me just go through this and practice it, you know, not like, and so like, so then what I would have to do is that once I was done with one take, I'd have to sit down and listen to it and be like, okay, was that the one? It was the one, you know? So it was like it was this like, it's finally over, you know, just like pour water all over myself and just
Right.
no, it was a very emotional experience filming that one.
Jeez, I can't even imagine. Frickin' hell, man. It turned out great though. It's good stuff.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it actually makes for a pretty damn fun chart. Top 10 video game boss battle themes.
This was a year of my life I'm never getting back.
Oh,
well, this project, not just this song, this project of top 10 videos, and I mean that in the most endearing way. It's one of the craziest, I think, one of the craziest projects I ever took on. The idea here, before you play it, I think it's important before people go like, I can't believe my favorite song didn't get in the top 10. The idea was, at this point, I had 200,000 subscribers. I felt like, okay, I've got a decent sample group. I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to say, I want everybody to tell me, and the first one was intro themes. So I did 12 videos like this, boss battles, intro themes, game over themes. They've all also been charted, I'm pretty sure. So like, if you guys really like this one, there's every other one's charted. By somebody else, which I actually played through on my stream, and they were pretty good. Now, I asked everybody, please tell me your favorite intro theme, like from a video game, and I added them all up manually, thousands and thousands and thousands of comments.
Jesus, Jules.
I wanted to make sure that it wasn't me. It wasn't like me like holding the reins to this. This wasn't my top 10. This was based on the actual popularity of people, like what people actually wanted. And there was no other way to do this in a way that didn't have to bring people over to another website.
Sure.
This was like, I would get the most votes if I had people just comment, just scroll down a little bit, tell me your favorite song, and then I add them up like that. It was a little bit easier because like if I saw a bunch of them, I could just pop them in a spreadsheet, control find, and then it's just like, okay, well, there's 13 votes for Final Fantasy, you know, like things like that.
Right.
Made it easier, still was a huge undertaking, and I also streamed the entire process of all of these top 10 medleys.
Oh, that hurts.
That was actually kind of fun. It was fun having people getting to like do the reveals. Is like, this is what won. You know, these are the game songs that won.
Sure.
This was another thing that I thought would be a great way to practice my transitions using the music theory knowledge I have, where the songs from 10 to 5 or 10 to 4 rather would be shorter and have to have really clean transitions to the next song, or sometimes not if it makes more sense to not have a clean transition, and then really be able to flesh out the top 3.
All right, start out with some Final Fantasy.
Yeah, dude. I think this was the first video I did in the studio. So we had just moved to our new house right before I did this one.
Sweet.
My new studio.
So this is first video you did in the studio, and this was this the first part of that project as well, the top 10?
This must have been number 10 out of 12.
Ooh, shit. So that transition just wrecked me.
Oh yeah, it's those open ones.
Is that Sweet Coated?
Yes, Sweet Coating 2.
Dude, yeah.
I actually didn't know about that game until I did this medley, and a lot of people voted for this.
Yeah, Luca Blight, fantastic villain, man. Great game. It's just one of those things that I couldn't catch the gameplay out of the corner of my eye fast enough while playing too to see if it was or not. I'm covering the gameplay for anybody watching the stream right now. Sorry, my fat butt is in the way. Rippity dippity.
It's a guessing game.
That's actually something I like to see on Clone Hero right now, is like people doing like kind of guessing stuff chart-wise. Yeah. That's fun. Like the unique kind of charts like that. Some Wind Waker.
Aw, yeah.
Ooh.
Some YouTuber, Pajama Pants Julia Henderson did an amazing cover of Mulgara. Those of you guys like covers of Wind Waker music.
Dude, I really like how this came out. Oh shit.
Thank you.
Tapping.
I think this was the most popular one.
I just realized what this is.
Yeah.
That's sick.
It was actually a huge challenge for me to take this one on because there aren't very many accurate covers of this online. There's one. I think there's one cover where people have played this correctly, and I really tried to make sure that I had this note for note perfect.
That's a process in of itself, man.
It's not a comfy song to play. There's nothing comfy about this one.
Oh, I know a lot of people will be happy with this one.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Some Undertale. This is Hopes and Dreams, right?
Yeah. Undertale is such a great nostalgia game.
I've always enjoyed people's arrangements of this one.
Yeah.
And I never finished Undertale. I'm a horrible person.
It's like 6 hours, dude. Just carve out a weekend.
I need to. But it's a game you have to play through multiple times too, isn't it?
Yeah, if you want. It's kind of like Nier, where it's like you could finish the game at a certain point and just walk away from it, but if you want more, there's a lot more. That's how I kind of feel about those two games.
Ooh. Yeah, this makes a really good chart too, dude.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you agreed to do this because these are damn fun, dude.
Oh, I thought it was like gunpoint.
Yeah, we were forcing you to.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it seem like this is all optional, you know, like...
Yeah. One might say you forced my way. Never mind. Forced my way. Never mind. No. Bad joke.
I just actually stopped for a second. I missed notes because of that.
Yeah, I saw that. The deadness and then the noteness. I screwed up. I'm sorry. I'll go. I'll leave.
Bye, Jules. I love it. All right, we're getting up to the top 3 soon, huh?
Yeah. So I think you're on 3 right now. I honestly don't even remember.
I'm too busy trying to see if you were actually leaving that I was like, oh God.
I thought about it, but you know what? I love you, Jason. I'd never do that to you in the middle of the cast.
I love you too, Jules. Rito just said number 3 is really hard. Okay.
I don't even remember what it was. It's just like I did 12 of these, and this was my 2016 project. Like I didn't really do too much else other than.
This is the Secret of Mana boss theme. Holy shit!
Yeah. This is Danger. That's right.
Dude.
Easy peasy. You got this.
Memories.
Baby mode guitar. Literally, first song you learn, Danger from Secret of Mana.
Dude, that's so fun to play.
Yeah, it's also really, really fun to play. Like, after you get past the intro, that like, everything else is just so jamming.
Creepy Craig, welcome, dude. How you doing today? Good to see you. Have not played Secret of Mana yet? Copper, they just did the re-release.
Yeah, they did.
It's out on Steam now.
I heard mixed things about the re-release.
I've heard mixed things about it too. I haven't picked it up because of that. But at least it's easier now. Pokemon!
Yeah. Your boy Pokemon.
Oh, we're getting to that good stuff now, huh?
I remember when I was in 3rd grade, and after I had lost one of my most valuable cards, and I guess a lot of other kids also lost their very valuable cards, they had to do a morning announcement where they were like, "Attention. There will no longer be any Pokemon card trading during recess. I repeat, no more Pokemon at recess. Thank you."
Oh, man. I miss the Pokemans. That was my middle school days for me right there, man. Feels good. Oh, we're slowing down a bit. I actually don't know what number 1 is here.
You know what number 1 is. Don't lie to me.
All right, I did.
You knew going in. You were like, yeah, this is me. I got a lot of comments of people like, why is there 2 Undertale tracks? It's like, that's what you voted for, man. You can't blame me for this.
It's one of those things that the popularity at the time really affects.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
You know?
I'd be interested to see how a voting process for this would go now. You know?
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say that could be even like a yearly thing. You know, like
Please no. Please no. Don't give them any ideas. Like, I will not. This was an entire year, like from January to December project that I was working on.
please no. You heard it here, guys. Do not request Jules do another of these.
I am super proud of all of these videos. I would not do them again.
Well, to be fair, also too, that's a good thing, right? That means that you're
Right.
gonna keep improving what you're doing instead of retreading old ground.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I might return to it with a different twist on it. I've done that in the past, but I probably wouldn't do another top 10 boss battle games or something like that.
Ooh.
And like you know, and people will always be like, oh well, the only reason Megalovania was #1 for this is because it was popular at the time. It's just like that doesn't matter. Like if I were to ever do this at any other time, whatever is popular at the time is gonna be what's at the top.
Completely
like,
true. Yep.
It's not going to change. It's just like it's not going to be Megalovania this time. It's going to be the next thing that people are like, the fan base ruined the game for me. I think it would have been a fun game. It would be a fun show. It'd be a fun movie if the fan base wasn't so toxic. I'm not salty.
I was just gonna say that seemed like that was from a place of passion.
It's like everything, man. It's Steven Universe. It's like everything. Like you can't like anything that's good anymore because the fan base ruined it. It's like shut up. Just enjoy the thing for what it is, you know?
Oh God, that's speaking my language, man. That sounds like whenever someone comes in here and says, "But why didn't you just learn to play a real guitar?" Right?
Yeah, that's actually my question to you, Jason. Is have you ever tried a real guitar before?
Never. I would.
God, why has that not ever crossed your mind?
I can't imagine. It's just not something that I would ever really want to do. I definitely would never. I would never play guitar. That's not something I would.
Yeah, there it is.
I would never do that because why would I ever waste my time with that when I I don't necessarily need to
Oh, there's the Schecter.
wait. What? I don't have more arms. So next up, Trial of Thunder. Now this is something that you can definitely speak to because you had a hand in this game, correct?
Correct.
So any Crypt of the Necrodancer fans in the chat because this is something you might know Jules from.
The story of Necrodancer was I met Danny because I did a cover of a Super Meat Boy song.
Okay.
He reached out to me and he was like, "This is awesome." So then we started talking, and I did a bunch of other covers. I did a Binding of Isaac medley after he did the music for that, and then he had the DLC coming out, and he wanted guitars on the final boss battle, which was titled "My Innermost Apocalypse." I had a date that night that he asked me to do that. And I was like 5 minutes past having to walk out the door, and he was like, "Hey, I got this opportunity for you. I want you to be on the guitars for Binding of Isaac." And I was like, "I am out the door. What's my timeline on this?" And he's like, "I need it by tomorrow. Tonight would be preferable." Because this was maybe 5 or 6 days before Wrath of the Lamb actually dropped. I don't think that this was part of the plan, you know. So he was just like, "We have this song. I think it would really serve some guitar and a lot of stuff." So, I mean, here we are. Needless to say, I didn't go through with the date. I actually kind of stood her up accidentally because I'm a horrible person. I like because of all the craziness of it. I never actually was able to get back to her because there was other stuff going on at the same time, but it didn't work out. Probably wouldn't have worked out anyway, so whatever. But so that was the final blood pact, the final like blood contract sacrifice that I made, and then I was a boy slave to Danny Baranowski from then point on. So then when he started working on Crypt of the Necrodancer with Brace Yourself Games, I was actually visiting him, and he showed me, he's like, "I'm working on this wacky rhythm game, but don't tell anybody about it because like we haven't unveiled anything." So I was like, "Oh man, this music's awesome! Like, can you send me some of it so I can listen to it at home?" And of course, what I did when I got home was I covered the first 3 tracks from the game. I did my own arrangements of them, just like I did on YouTube, and I presented them to him. I didn't want anything out of it. I was just like, I love your music. I genuinely want to do this.
Cool.
So I did 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3 before he even signed me on to work on the game. And the versions you hear in the game were tracked before I even knew that I was going to be a part of it, which I don't think people really I really talked about before.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then he got this great idea. He was just like, what if we had alternate soundtracks? We bring a rival to do an EDM version. We bring you to do a metal version. Ryan, the guy who made Crypt of the Necrodancer, the developer, super open mind, super wonderful dude, was all for it. He was just all for it. So we did it. And this Trial of Thunder is a song that Danny Baranowski, as it said, he wrote this song. I think I say jokingly, I think he did try to write this song specifically to see if I couldn't actually play it.
That makes me feel good about playing this then. Great.
It is insanely difficult. It is insanely difficult to play on guitar. He actually sent it to me, like the Dropbox link when he wrote it, and he was just like, sorry. Like that's all he said. He just said sorry, lowercase letters, and I was like,
okay.
Oh boy, here we go. So
okay, all right, here we go. Let's do it then. Let's do it. Let's check it out. Jesus. Yo. Oh, I've heard this one.
Yeah, this was a mess. I'm not even playing this, and I need more coffee.
I haven't had any coffee today. Shit, that's what my problem is.
Here, let me go get you some. I'll be right there.
Can you give me a cup of coffee? Thanks. Appreciate that, Jules.
Across the entire country.
From one side of the USA to the other.
All while holding a coffee, just sprinting. Yeah, I'll email you some coffee.
All right, 3D print me some coffee. Perfect.
Dude, don't joke. That's gonna be a thing. 10 years, I guarantee you, we'll be printing out coffee. I mean, we already have Keurigs. Like, where do you go from there? You print the coffee, materialize from the air.
I want it. A Keurig of 3D printing. Jesus, my God.
It brings the hydration from the air, and also the beans from the air.
The beans from the air.
The air beans, so to speak, and creates the world's most natural cup of coffee brought from the air, the water and beans from the air. That's where it comes from.
I'm gonna be honest, it's really hard to fuck. No, not like that. Oh God.
It's very hard to fuck, Jason. It's very, very true statement.
I mean,
if it's that hard to fuck, you could see a doctor. There's maybe go through therapy. I don't know if you've heard of BetterHelp.com. Maybe they can help with fuck.
I'm not living that one down.
Sponsored, not sponsored. BetterHelp.com/FamilyJules. Get your coupon code. No big deal. Just putting my own sponsors on your stream.
Yo, that transition again there. This is sick right here, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Necro in chat just said, who did these drums?
These are all programmed. These were all Superior Drummer. This would have been Superior Drummer 2 at the time, and I programmed them with a piano roll. So every single drum hit you hear, every kick drum, every snare drum, every cymbal is a mouse click that I put in, and then probably deleted and moved because it was a stupid sound. So I had to put it somewhere else because it would sound better.
Jeez, man. So all hand programmed for the drums then?
Yes, everything I've ever done has all been hand programmed.
Jeez, that's impressive as hell, man. That one actually kicked my ass. That one kicked my ass.
Hell yeah, I'm glad. I was waiting for my Uber, and I had this idea for this riff. And this was a song that I remember. You ever just like play a game and you have the song playing and you're like really, really kind of out of it. So you just kind of like, you put the controller down and just like close your eyes for a little while because you're like, you still want to play, but you don't want to go to bed yet.
Sure.
There was, I was playing the remaster of Final Fantasy X, and I had this song playing, and it just kind of like over and over in my head. And it's the original is so beautiful, such a beautiful tune, and I just had this going in my head, that really simple melody, and it had been going in my head for a while. Also, that's Rashadi B's coat. Side note. Anyways, so this riff here that you're playing,
oh man,
came into my head while I was waiting for my Uber at the San Diego airport, and then I was like, what do I do with this? And I mean, it's a very simple, like, you know, like pretty simple, like proggy, genty riff or whatever. But then when I like realized that was the riff behind Servants of the Mountain, it all just came together. I went home immediately, I arranged this, I recorded it. This is one of the fastest covers I ever did, because it was just like, sit down, I know exactly how the cover is going to sound.
Sure.
Let's just bang it out. So it was really, really fun.
Very cool, man. Wait, is Jules secretly Billy Joel Armstrong's son? Sean, you might
get that a lot.
Do you really?
I get that a lot, yeah. We go to a Chipotle almost every day, and one of the people always comments on the fact that I look like Billy Joe. And I'm okay with it. I love Green Day. Green Day is one of my favorite bands of all time. Like, even to this day, I feel like a lot of people drop off, but nah, my boy Billy, dude, all day, every day.
I think they get too much like, they're too poppy, things like that. I think they're.
Of course.
They've got some great stuff, man. Things like American Idiot, the concept album part of it, like, that's some good shit there, dude.
American Idiot's awesome, man. My favorite song is Homecoming, off that album, like, by them, like, to this day. I mean, it's almost like people say the fan base is the reason why they're better. No.
Are we going back to that from earlier again? Is this back to fan base things?
We don't have to
Jules,
yeah,
Jules, you seem like you're you're very opinionated on this.
Nah, I don't have opinions, dude. I make video game guitar covers on YouTube. Nobody wants to know what I think.
I think we all do. I never thought anybody would have wanted to know what I thought until I started playing the plastic guitar.
Yeah, dude.
Right? I mean, see, look at that. Okay. Do people in chat care what Jules says? I see Shemmy. I see Shemmy saying I do.
No, you don't. You don't honestly want to know. I honestly, you know.
The only person I've seen say nah so far was your roommate. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like in this day and age, too many people talk about too many things that they don't understand.
That's true too.
I feel like with social media, I feel like people feel like there's an obligation to speak up, and in a lot of cases about a lot of stuff that they don't actually know. And it's okay to not know. That's another fear that I think a lot of people have in this day and age, that they feel like they have to have political opinions about stuff that they don't care about. They have to have opinions on abortion or genders or gay rights and stuff, like all sorts of stuff that like maybe they weren't affected by it at all, but because of the pressure that it seems like you have,
sure.
A lot of people feel like they need to say something to have any kind of a ripple in this day and age. And I feel like for me, I've always tried to be very careful about that. And like in the past, I've said a lot of dumb stuff. I said a lot of stuff that I didn't really know about before I said, you know. 23/8 is a very fun time signature. You should absolutely never write a song in 23/8 unless your name is Koji Kondo.
And hey, you do a lot on the music theory side. Do you want to give us some thoughts as to why he picked this to compose the music in?
Because he's a dick. It's chaotic. I mean, this is the final battle in Ocarina of Time. Of course it's going to be crazy. It doesn't make any it makes sense in the context of the music. You don't even realize that it's this crazy time signature. But if you actually count it, I know you're very well versed in music theory as well, Jason, but like even me playing it, I didn't count it. I just felt it, you know? So like, this is a feeling time signature. Don't try to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but something I like to do is teach how to subdivide something like this. So this is, if you subdivide this in 2 sections, so that you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the first one. So 3 sections of 3, 1 of 4. And then the next one is 2 of 3 and 1 of 4. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. That's the best way to count this. The thing that sucks about it is it's so fast. This is such a fast song that it's really hard. But those of you guys in the chat, try to think of this melody like that. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Then you'll start to understand how this melody actually works.
Rito was saying like a 13/8 and then a 10/8. That's, I guess, one way you could look at it.
It doesn't, like, the emphasis is on the melodies. Like that's a really big reason why subdividing works, is like you could do like 10 and 13 or whatever, but like you also want to keep the numbers as tight as possible. You don't want to count on any numbers that have more than one syllable also, you know. So like you don't want to be on like 12, you know, or 13. You don't want to say like 13, like, because that would be like 2 beats or whatever. So
it's brutal.
So the melody is also structured in that subdivision of 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 whatever. So it really helps kind of break it up. Or 7, yeah. Sorry, I'm again. I've had like 2 coffees today, and that's too short of what I need by this hour of the day.
Dude, my Keurig just actually went on the fritz, and whenever I just want 1 cup of coffee now, I'm dying. So I understand. I have to make a giant pot every single time.
Ripperoni. I used to be a French press man. I always used to French press my coffee, because that way you get like 3 cups in a day, usually, you know. But then you live with roommates, so you get a half a cup, because by the time you come back to the thing, Dark Ages has already your roommate has already drinking all the cups. I'm kidding. I actually haven't made a French press coffee while Dark Ages is over there. Del Cake with his face. Maybe it's Del Cake. Maybe Del Cake drinks the coffee and we just don't know. He's so quiet.
So I guess we can mention this since he's here. Yes. You and Del Cake are roommates, right?
Yes, we are roommates. Yes.
So
Biffles.
So for anybody who
you never find out
ever sees Del Cake in the community, that's this guy's buddy. Yep. Right here. How cool.
We're roomy boys, much like Woomy boys.
Del is actually one of those people I want to get more of his stuff charted and put in this game too.
Yeah,
he's a good
Del
boy.
Is an amazing. Yeah. Also, he's a amazing multi-instrumentalist too. He doesn't just play guitar; he plays violins too.
Really? I did not know that, Del. You did not tell me that in the past, friend.
Oh, oops. Maybe I ousted him. Oops. Sorry about that.
Del, you've been ousted to the community.
Okay. He said I do. He's fine with it. Unless he's not. He's just like, yeah, I do. Jules, I'd like to see you in my office. Thank you.
Hey.
Aw, thanks, Del.
Del
is also a very... Oh, what's up?
I like that little gameplay for the transition.
I used to do that a lot more, especially in my second year of YouTube videos. That was a section that I was just like, I felt like it needed a break. You know, it needed something. So now we're in the Ganon Battle section. This was a song that I've always wanted to cover, but I didn't feel like I could extend it long enough to have its own cover, where it wouldn't just feel like it was kind of meandering and didn't really feel like it was going anywhere. So I used it as kind of like the tag of the Ganondorf battle. This is one of the most emotional video game songs for me personally, because Ocarina of Time was probably one of the first games that I had ever beaten. You know, I was very young, so this whole end segment was just an absolute trip. It was just an out-of-body experience of just like what you feel like you're doing is world changing. And I mean, now every game you change the world and you save the world and you do all these things, so it's completely like,
sure.
I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's like, oh great, I saved the world, woohoo. But like when it's like your first game and you just feel like the how much change you're making, it's so crazy. I don't know. So that's very emotional. I feel like I've always had a really good job of keeping my passion alive. I've been doing this for 8 years, you know, and that's the reason why I have. It's always felt like a give back to me, that like I received this thing meant a lot to me, like the music that I cover, like even Flamingo, you know, by Cara Cara Bonito, like that song was, you know, jamming in our house for a long time, and it, you know, has a lot of happy feelings for me. I have like such passion for all of this music that I'm doing, and that's what
Shall we
keeps
do
it alive.
it right now?
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Since you just mentioned it.
Yep. Do it up.
Hey, Bizarre, thank you for the 6 months, man. Great to have you back. Let's friggin' rock.
So this is Adriana Figueroa. We actually performed this live at Con Bravo. We actually we filmed the video at Con Bravo during our performance of another song that Adriana Figueroa and I performed, and we did the actual music video live there. The music isn't the live recording, thank God, because I screwed it up so badly. But the video is for a little lesser known song from a game called Rhythm Heaven. We did Fan Club from Rhythm Heaven, and we actually had the audience do all of the moves that you would do in the game for Rhythm Heaven.
That's so cool.
It was a lot of fun, and that's going to come out on Tuesday. I'm really excited. I was so excited. I edited it like first thing when I got back. And
That's
it
so
great.
cool.
I can't wait to begin.
Looking forward to watching it, man. That's coming out Tuesday, you said?
Yes, this Tuesday.
Hell yeah, dude. Got bitch either way. Hell yeah.
I had a good amount of fun with writing the solo for this one.
I was gonna say this is a big one in the community right now too.
Yes.
Not just even in the Clone Hero community.
No, it's a meme for sure. I mean, you just mean like the song Flamingo in general, right?
Yeah, dude, and just KKB in general even right now, huh?
Yeah. Good little note spray in there.
That's fun as hell, dude.
Yeah. Very difficult to play live, but it is pretty fun.
If your mom's covered. Well, that's cool too.
Yeah, strangely enough, people think that Adriana is fluent in Japanese, and she is not. She's just very good at pronunciation.
Could have fooled me.
Yeah, she is fluent in Spanish though. She's little known fact. She's actually she's Puerto Rican.
There you go. The clapping's very enthusiastic there.
Yeah. we actually, like, right before filming this, we went to the San Diego Zoo to film a bunch of flamingos, and we also went to SeaWorld where they also have flamingos, and we got a bunch of like phone camera footage of flamingos and stuff for this video. It's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with this one. The actual video itself, we were using a backdrop that wasn't actually big enough to fit the entire screen. So every shot that you see is actually the edges are extended off to both sides, and it's all done in post by hand. Yeah, like done, like all the not rotoscoping, but like the masks and the animating the masks for the actual colors and stuff was all done by me, and it was very, very difficult.
As somebody that's done a lot of editing over the years, that's pain to think about, and kudos for actually doing that work. That's crazy, dude. Next up, Every Day is Night.
Yeah, so Valhalla is it's a visual novel game based around, it's a cyberpunk bartender simulator essentially. So what you're doing is you're watching you're making drinks while hearing the lives of other people, of other characters coming in and stuff, and it's a very interesting game. The music's absolutely wonderful. It was actually this cover was a part of the official bonus tracks collection for it.
Cool.
Adriana did a song for it too. So we're both very big fans of Valhalla.
Wow. Okay, cool. I've never even heard of this. I know nothing about this, so I'm going in completely blind here. Let's do this. Sounds very interesting.
It's a bop.
It's a bop? All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's some high praise around here. Let's see how bopping this is. That's a good intro.
Yeah, so I've met the composer at PAX. Wonderful guy. His name's Michael Kelly. He goes by I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. It's like Garode Music, so Garoad, like GA Road Music. You guys should check him out on Twitter. Absolutely wonderful composer.
I really like how this video shot too. The style with the lighting around you. That's neat.
It was a lot of fun.
That looks really good on camera.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can double check, but I think Adriana also filmed this one.
Yep. Delcake even in chat just said, I really like the backdrop for this video. It adds a lot to it, man.
Yeah.
Since we have a little bit of a down moment at the moment too, guys, I want to throw this out here again to everybody who doesn't know about this. Every song we're playing right now from Jules, these charts are public. If anybody here plays Clone Hero and would like to get these with the videos to play them in-game, ! Jules, grab them. Free. Download them, play them.
What's today, Saturday? Tomorrow's Sunday?
Today is Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, let's film a video tomorrow. I haven't streamed since I got back from Con Bravo, but I would love to go through these myself too. Give them a try.
Hell yeah, dude. If you end up streaming them, let me know. I'd love to give you a host on it, man. That'd be cool.
Awesome. All right, we'll do.
I won't be around tomorrow, like, on stream or anything, but just even shoot me a message. I got you, dude. Since we're actually talking about the pack in general, what's your thoughts on this now? Having a pack out there and being the first person to actually do something like this, how do you feel about that?
It's awesome, man. I'm a huge fan with the direction that Clone Hero is going. I think it's awesome. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are who are into just Twitch and gaming in general are people from our generation that grew up with Guitar Hero 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. And it's kind of sad that it's kind of almost considered like not. It's like a dead game, but like I feel like it's not, because like the actual. It's not a dead game because of the content of it. It hasn't gotten tired. It's still like super fun. It's just I feel like the actual available songs and the available new content is so limited now. The last I don't know. I just feel like the last iterations have been not necessarily failures, but like not widely received well. So I feel like a large influx of stuff like that has kind of hindered the feeling of Guitar Hero. I don't know, feeling new or exciting anymore. But this is new and exciting. Like how it's now community based and stuff. I really like where this is going.
Yeah, I really am excited for the future for what we could be doing, and it's cool to hear so many artists now kind of feeling the same way about wanting to see like a revitalization and get their music out there to people.
Yeah.
The idea of being able to just take artists and connect them with people and showcase their music and maybe introduce them.
Yeah, so this is a cover I did with ToxicxEternity. This was one of those things where it's just so, as Final Fantasy X being my favorite, I think we can all agree Nobuo did his best. Our boy Nobuo Uematsu. He clearly knew all the elements that went into a heavy metal scream song, but it didn't quite translate in the original version of Otherworld from Final Fantasy. Can we all agree that? Can we all agree with that?
Oh,
he did his best.
If you want it. Yeah, it's got. Yeah, it's kind of sounds like I've seen Raspberry.
So this is a song that I've wanted to do for a very long time, but it had to be right, because like if we were gonna do it, it would have to be the way that we all almost like remember hearing it as a kid, because like when you hear this as a kid, you're just like, whoa, it's so brutal, it's so metal, whoa. But then you listen to it now, you're just like, what the hell happened to this? Like it's just like one of those like rose-colored glasses, kind of a thing. You look back on it, but so this was definitely one where just like, let's do it the way that we remember it. Like let's see if we can make it like as big as it was when we played the game. And I think we succeeded. This is one of my most proud covers of all time. Jack and I had an absolute blast filming this. You'll see that this was one of the first videos where we said, like, let's get some guitar shots and let's have fun. Actually, Jonathan Parecki, who's an amazing YouTuber, does anime remixes. You guys should all check him out if you're into anime music. And Rashadi B, which most of you probably know Rashadi B, were in the video. They didn't actually play on the song, but we were just like, let's make it look like a band. We'll have like Rich playing the drums behind or whatever, and like Parecki playing the bass and stuff like that. We had a lot of fun, but in addition to that, we had a lot of fun doing like B-roll stuff of us just doing ridiculous stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey, let's freaking do it, man. I'm ready. ToxicxEternity's with you on this one too. I gotta be honest, I don't think I've heard this cover. I'm looking forward to this.
It's silly.
It's silly. Sounds badass from the intro.
Thanks.
I've apparently played the solo before at least, because I think it was in the mega mix they put out to promote this.
Oh, cool.
Damn that riff, dude! I like the tones there. That's cool.
Thank you. The tones are weird. So these are my main tones, and Jack actually made tones that were gonna like he did like this weird like crank amp like dime bag distortion kind of a thing, because like my tones are very mid heavy. I love my mids. I love like everything sounding like a battering ram to your ear balls every time you hear a guitar strum. So Jack made this cover that just kind of cradled those highs and lows with this super crunchy crank tone that almost sounds like garbage alone, but it complements my rhythm tone like so well. So this cover was quad tracked. We had the MIDI mid filled, I shouldn't say MIDI because that sounds like MIDI, hard pan left and right, and then the crank amp was 75% right, 75% left.
That's
so really have this huge sound.
That's really cool. So that's how you. So I know a lot of people do double tracking on guitars, but this is all quad tracked. You said.
Quad tracked. Most of my covers are dual tracked, but this is quad. Oh yeah, I forgot to do vocals for this. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yo, shit!
I saw the chart for Jack's solo, and I'm sorry. That
one
was really hard.
That's a strum! Assholes!
Ooh, oh, I saw that. Ooh. Big move.
What? Did you just dive into the pool?
Yeah. Again, we had a lot of fun with the filming for this one.
I think that's probably got to be one of the most fun parts of your job is shooting this, right? That's got to be some of the most fun parts.
It's sometimes, but it's stressful learning all this stuff. So I'd say probably one of the most stressful parts of what I do is all the time leading up to filming, making sure that I know the parts well enough to be able to, play them, good enough for video and stuff. Honestly, filming before was a lot easier when I was doing it all live. But yeah, and I find that that's pretty consistent among a lot of the other people who kind of do what we do, where we do like the weekly video kind of thing. It's interesting. I was just actually talking to Sounddrop, one of the guys, the person who runs the Sounddrop Twitter. Sounddrop is a music distribution service that helps us put our covers out legally so that we can sell them, and the original copyright holders have, they get their cuts and stuff. So it's all completely legal and stuff. And he was telling us, he's just like, they talk to other people who they work with, and they're like, some of these artists are crazy. They make music videos every week, like, and it's like, for us, it's just like, well, yeah, like that's what we've always been doing. But like for them, like they're used to traditional bands that, they go on tour and they release albums once a year.
Right.
And it's like, we don't do that. We can't do that. We can't go on tour. So the way that we make this work is we have to do videos. And so it's weird for us to see that people are still like, like I don't know, not still like, I guess it's weird because this is what we've done for so long, and this is what we continue to do, and this is what continues to work.
Right.
And we almost forget what it's like for like, the original dream of like the Nirvana dream, what Dave Grohl always talks about, where it's like, oh, it's all about, being really bad in a garage and then hitting it big and getting lucky and just playing music and stuff like that. We filmed this on in La Jolla Cove in San Diego, where sea lions like to just chill on the beach, and you can we just had my band Thunderforge out here. We are working on our new full-length power metal album. If you like Dragon Force, you'll probably like my band. We are heavily influenced by Dragon Force. And we brought them out to this cove, and like they were they're originally from Massachusetts, and they were just so like they couldn't believe this. It's like a huge cove. Well, it's not super huge. It's a big cove where there's lots of just sea lions just hanging out. They'll like come up to you. They'll like run at you and stuff like that. Like they're vicious, but they're adorably vicious.
Can you give
something we should all strive to be.
Can you give a little more information on your band for folks, because they just seemed rather interested in the chat? What was the name of your band, and when's the album going to be dropping?
My band's name is Thunderforge. All one word. We have an EP out. You guys can hear it on Spotify. We released that 2 years ago. It's a 5-song, and we are releasing a full-length album that we have almost completely recorded. We have to get our drummer in the studio next month. We're hoping to drop this album before the end of the year. I love it. It's been a long time since I've been like, I'm passionate about all of my stuff, but I am super excited and super passionate about this album. The people in this band are some of the most talented musicians I've ever had the privilege of working with, and I'm really excited for you guys to hear it. So Thunderforge, we have a Facebook, we have a Spotify, we have everything.
Sweet.
Check us out.
Hell yeah. So that's future stuff. But for right now, we got
Sight of Spira.
Sight of Spira. That's what it was. I was just gonna say, God, I forgot what it was that we were just about to play. Shit.
Jeez, this is the worst interview I've ever been a part of.
Oh,
okay. I love you.
I just want everybody to know I had this finger up on the yellow right there because of what Jules just did. That was all for you right there, buddy. That was it was one button down too far. That was all for you. I appreciate you, Jules.
One finger salute.
Professor in the chat just said, "Does Thunderforge have a MySpace?"
I wish. We'll have to make one.
There you go. Wait, MySpace actually is still a thing for music groups nowadays, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, MySpace Music.
I
don't know anything about it, but I know that it's...
I was just gonna say, I know nothing about it. I'm gonna feel really bad asking about it because I don't know anything.
I don't know anything, man. So classical guitar was actually my my focus in college. So this was my major. My degree is in classical guitar performance.
I did not know that. How cool!
Yay!
What got you into classical guitar?
Going to college and realizing that I couldn't major in metal. So I walked in and I was they were like, okay, you can either go jazz guitar or you can go classical guitar, and I was like, okay, let's do classical guitar because I feel like that'll kick my ass a lot harder than jazz guitar will. Sure enough, both would have kicked my ass equally, just in different ways of how the ass kicking would happen. So I went into that audition not really knowing what to do. You know, like I was just like, I've never played classical guitar in my life before. I don't even own a nylon string guitar at the time. So there was a YouTube. Well, he was one of the Candy Rat. Maybe he was Candy Rat. Candy Rat is the YouTube channel, and I guess they're like a record company kind of deal that produced Andy McKee.
I was just going to say, that sounds very familiar. I was going to say Andy McKee's old tapping stuff that he used to do.
Yeah, so Candy Rat, if I might be totally pulling this out of my ass, but I think they kind of focus on like acoustic, like virtuoso guitarists, like people who really kind of push the instrument into new ways, just like Andy McKee very famously did. So if you actually check out Candy Rat, they have a lot of artists just like Andy McKee that do a lot of different stuff. The guy who did that crazy like electronic, he had the oh god, I'm gonna be super racist right now. I'm just gonna say the Asian hat that Raiden wears from oh god, I don't know what it's called. But the guy who did he did this acoustic like EDM sounding song. That was also Candy Rat. Anyway, so there was this guitarist, Sergio Altamira was an artist that I discovered on YouTube. And for some reason his music touched like my heart instantly. Like, have you ever had an artist that you're just like especially now where I'm sure you're exposed to so much music that like you feel like sometimes you're just like, oh yeah, it's just I need to give it a few listens or whatever before I can really say whether or not I like it or not or whatever. It was one of those situations where the second I heard it, it just touched my soul, man. It was just like it. So I went in and I played a song from one of his YouTube videos, or actually no, from his album, not one of his YouTube videos. And I guess they liked it enough to take me. So So then I bought a nylon guitar and I studied with an actual really, really crazy teacher. He was one of Andre Segovia's final students before Andre Segovia died, and helped finish some of his final collections after he passed away.
Wow.
and worked like with Segovia's wife and stuff like that. And his name was Philip DeFremery. One of the craziest, like one of the most awesome teachers that I could ever have the privilege of having. He was, I mean, it was the kind of teacher that, you know, you'd walk in and he'd be like, all right, we're going to play C. And I'd be like, all right, well, let's play C. And he's like, no. I want you to play the note C. Now you cannot leave this room until you play that C correctly. And it'd be an hour of me just C, with just like trying to get that perfect rest stroke, the roundest note possible, just like absolute, like all about technique, you know, and it was world changing for me as a guitarist to just like be put through that, you know. How do you get a bunch of Pikachus on a bus?
How? You
Pokemon. This cover I did for the Johto Legends album that was done by Braxton Burks, part of Pokemon Reorchestrated. He asked me, he was like, hey, you want to do something for this huge Gold and Silver album? And I was like, dude, I am super busy. I absolutely cannot do it. But you did say Pokemon Gold and Silver, so yeah, count me in. That's my favorite one. Why am I? Oh, I'm banned from this channel. I can't talk anymore. Oh, Rex, why did you ban me?
I think Rex just banned you. Yeah.
I've never been banned for. I didn't know that your whole message thing just says you've been banned. That's so ominous. I've never been banned before. Whoa, that's cool.
I'm glad I could be your first.
Yeah, pop my ban cherry.
I'm just gonna keep this face for the rest of the stream.
Yeah, this is a very, very fun track. I love this game. This is my favorite Pokemon soundtrack. I do cause a lot of controversy because I have never really given a chance to third generation. Every time I try to get into it, it's just not a good time. I know that the music's wonderful. I love the music that I've heard. I've loved the music that I've covered for other people's channels. Like I've done Route 113 and stuff like that. But I just haven't given it enough of a chance. And hopefully one day I'll be able to change that. But so far, I've played Pokemon, you know, first gen, second gen. I skipped all the way to X and Y. I didn't play another Pokemon until Pokemon X and Y. Played Sun and Moon. But the Pokemon Gold and Silver soundtrack is a very special place in my heart.
Hell yeah, dude. We got some new Pokemon games on the way. Is that gonna be?
I'm very excited.
That's gonna be what's coming up next, I'm assuming. And I'm assuming we'll see some covers from that.
Yeah, dude, I still play Pokemon Go. I've got my here it is. Got my Plus. Got my Pokemon Go Plus.
Oh shit!
Obviously, I don't get very many here in the underground studio dungeon, but I did catch a John Petrucci once. That was a rare find.
So it might not be in the pack, but we might need to take a second and go play the Petrucci one. I don't have the video with it. But to extend just another song, because I'm not ready to wrap this up yet, man.
Awesome. No, I'm having a great time.
I'm glad you are. But yeah, because I really want you to tell the story of the Petrucci stuff.
Oh man, I've been wanting to do a video where I just talk about that whole experience, but every time I do a talking video, no one really watches it, so.
Well, see, you just gotta look at it from a different angle. Look at this. You're talking on a different stream, and now you got people listening. Oh, shit. Nice. There we go. This one isn't in the pack right here, but this one was on a different set list, which was AntiHero. This came out right after you had put this video out. So this features John Petrucci from Dream Theater.
Literally who?
Yeah, who is that? What is that? Is he some sort of big deal or something?
So, John Petrucci is one of my biggest influences of all time. I think a lot of guitarists can pinpoint times in their careers where they made a big leap in their skill. Like something happened in a way that like I learned this solo and suddenly it all made sense, or, you know, I did this. One of the biggest things for me was Rock Discipline by John Petrucci. I'd been listening to Dream Theater for a long time and I wanted to play like John Petrucci, you know? He's got an amazing DVD series where he teaches lots and lots of techniques, practices, all sorts of stuff. I remember locking myself in my room and not leaving until I could play everything from it. Full day, I was sitting there me and John, me, greasy 14-year-old Jules and long-haired Ibanez playing John Petrucci. So you can imagine how much I was speechless when Ernie Ball called me up and was like, "Hey, we want to do a video with you and John Petrucci."
How cool is that?
It was absolutely like one of the craziest experiences because like I got an email from them once and they were like, "Hey, we've got an opportunity coming up for you. Are you going to be around for this?" And they didn't even tell me anything about it. So then the next email, they dropped in this thing and I was like, "Hey, yeah, so are you still down for the G3 thing?" And I was like, "G3 thing? Like, what the hell is that?" Like, like obviously referring to G3, which is the Joe Satriani, John Petrucci show that they do a lot.
Right.
And I had no idea what this was, and they just kept on like sprinkling little details into the emails, and until they were like, "Hey, we're gonna call you. Are you gonna be around for this point?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I was actually in Georgia at the time, therefore Christmas, I think,
Right.
and they called me up and they were like, "Hey, we're offering you to do a video with John Petrucci." I was speechless. Like, I didn't know what to say. Like, what do you say to that? Like, it's just like and they were just like, "What are your thoughts on that?" It's just like,
Oh, that's yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Let me see if I can get that in my schedule.
Yeah. Do I have the time? Can I make the availability? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Who is this John Petrucci? I don't know if I've ever heard now. So they were like, "Hey, what do you want to do? We could have him like come over and like maybe play a video game with you or something." And I was just like, I mean, this is big. Like, people are gonna want to like my channel's all about video game music. People are gonna want to hear him play a video game song.
Yeah.
So we got him in like a 3-way email chat. I'm like giggling like a schoolgirl. I'm like, "Oh my god, it's John Petrucci." Then he's like, then I was just like, "Hello, Mr. Petrucci. Have you ever played a video game before? And if so, what is a video game that you know very well that you would want to do?" And he said, "Well, I did play Mario back in the day." So it's just like, "Let's do the Mario theme, man." And he's just like, "Sounds good." And he did this also I mean, personally that John Petrucci is like the elemental boss of the just absolutely humble dungeon of just like he's just like
Yeah.
the most humble person, the most nicest, like, God, he's just infuriatingly the most wonderful person on this planet. He was on tour. He's on tour doing G3, and he offered to do that entire thing.
Yeah.
Like the entire thing for Super Mario Brothers. I arranged the whole thing and I just said, "Do your thing on it." And he did. He recorded the entire thing, like with his insanely busy schedule. And then he came over to my house, and then like
That's
he was here for
blowing
2
my
hours.
mind.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and so we're just like, yeah, he'll come to your house when G3 comes around to San Diego. You guys, it was super super official. There was like a whole schedule. It was just like 1 p.m. John Petrucci arrives at YouTuber FamilyJules' house. 1:15. Film the video. It's like once he got here, it was just hangout time. We just sat down and we just talked, dude. We just like chatted about music and like the music industry and life and stuff. And then eventually we're just like, "Hey, you want to bang out this video?" And then we did. And we did it really quickly. And then he was like, "Well, we got another hour." So I was like, "Do you want to play VR?" So I have something special for the chat.
Oh shit! Hold on. Wait, what? Is this one of those like, hold on, Jason, make Jules's camera bigger kind of thing?
Maybe. Let me see if I can find this.
Oh.
I convinced John Petrucci to play the HTC Vive
Alright,
VR in our setup.
Jules, I am gonna give you the entire screen for a second, okay?
All right. Now
Here you
this is
go. You're taking over. You're taking
this is
over behind us.
this is unseen footage. I've thought about in the future maybe doing a video where I talk about the experience of meeting John Petrucci and getting to hang out with him and stuff, where I would share this, but I will share this now.
Okay.
Here is, let's see if it'll play.
Uh-oh.
Here's John Petrucci playing Lightblade VR in my house.
That's so cool. Yo.
And then, let's see. So I also have one of him playing Drunken Bar Fight, which, if you guys haven't heard of that game, it's a game where you, in virtual reality, enter a bar and you beat up some people. So, to your right, you got. I mean, we all know how jacked John Petrucci is.
Sure.
So here he goes. He's.
Oh my God. There's John Petrucci in VR beating up people in a virtual bar. Perfect. Exactly what I needed on the stream today.
And me giggling like a girl because it's such like a surreal situation. So if I were to ever make a video where I talk about that, I will obviously like upload that to it and stuff like that. So
hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely nicest guy in the world. We went to G3. He brought us backstage. It's just absolutely dream come true. I felt like Cinderella.
Dude,
amazing.
That's freaking awesome. Let's do it. For anybody who hasn't heard this is with John Petrucci. It's only like a minute long.
Yep.
Name it too. Thank you for the 5 months, man. Welcome back, dude. You can hear that Petrucci tone right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat.
He always refers to his tone as sounding like chocolate cake.
Yes. It's funny too because like I really enjoy that approach to tone. The tone that I have on my Axe Effects is titled Chalky Milk, which is a reference to r/Tendies if any of you guys frequent Reddit. So.
Oh God,
yeah,
this part.
I'm all about the chocolate tone.
This is so hard. This part right here coming up. I've never seen this.
It was also
Not
amazing
this
because
time either.
you got. Oh, it's hard, man. That's insane.
It's Petrucci, of course it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was actually telling me a lot about like how the approaches that he did to like do a lot of these a lot of these techniques, and some of which he was just like, I never even like did this before, and like it's a really cool sounding thing that I never even would have fallen upon unless I did this cover, and
Right,
that is amazing. So I don't know, it was absolutely just mind-blowing experience.
That's such a freaking cool thing, man. We have one more tune left in this pack. Tara, you coming over to say hi to Jules? Oh,
Kibu.
She's got to come over and say hi. She's excited about the Wii Sports theme, is what she is. She's excited.
It's making me miss my cats back in Massachusetts.
Aw, too cute, Tara. So, Tara, you excited for this Wii Sports theme? Huh? This with ArtificialFear. Final song in the pack.
Yeah. So, ArtificialFear was part of the Triforce. I used to call it the VGM Triforce back in the day on YouTube because it was like me, ArtificialFear, and Serious Guitar 89 were like kind of just like during 2010, 2011, like we were the ones who were really pushing hard on that stuff, doing consistent videos for stuff like that.
Right.
And I mean, there were other people doing it, obviously, like Metal Daniel 03 and Daniel Tidwell, great, like good friend of mine. But we did a lot of covers together. But I still haven't met CS Guitar 89 in person because he lives in the Netherlands. But ArtificialFear is from Georgia, and I met him for the first time this year.
Wow.
A week before filming this video because we met up at MomoCon in Georgia, which is where he's from.
Nice.
So yeah, and we did the music theory panel together. We did the video game music theory panel at MomoCon together, and he's actually he studied music and he teaches music. His job is he teaches at a school. He teaches like middle schoolers and stuff.
Wow, how cool is that? And so you guys ended up meeting each other, and then did this come from that? From meeting each other, just said, "Hey, let's do something goofy together," or
we knew that it was coming up, and we were like, "Dude, if so." Then he came out to visit. He came out to San Diego to come visit us, and and we were like, "If you're gonna be here, we got to do a video together, of course." So we were just like, "All right, like, what should we do?" And we were like, we could do this one. Probably not. But then we're like, well, Mario Tennis Aces is coming out. Is there a song from that? And we're like, we couldn't really find anything that really worked for our style. But then we're like, what about Wii Sports? Like what? And then we actually have us playing like tennis in the video or something, like do something really silly. And this, This rivals Otherworld for the most fun I've ever had filming a video.
This is
So this, go ahead.
this is probably one of my favorites just from the actual video. Like I've watched this one, and I feel
This is fun.
like I haven't seen what it looks like in game, but I feel like the video's got to add a lot to this chart just because of what it is. So, Wii Sports theme, let's friggin' do it, man.
This was arranged by ArtificialFear, so the genius arrangement is all him. Can't take it.
That's the high five. Yes, man.
Chat, count all the high fives in this video.
Are there that many?
There's a good few.
All right, we need a good chat of a chat counter of the high fives after this, then.
How funny would it be if there was only one high five and I just like waiting for one?
That's clickbaiting people's eyesight, basically.
Give me those eye views. I don't know what you get for clickbaiting eyeballs.
Wait, do views come from something other than eyeballs?
Well, like if you stream audio, I mean that's like a listen.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I guess it's technically not a view, but.
Dude, that sounds so good.
Thank you.
It's epic.
Thank you. One of the biggest compliments was I think there's the really fast lead line that I did there. Matt was just like, that was a very E-Rock just plug in like crazy note spray, just like right there, just like out of nowhere. And I was like, that is the greatest compliment one can give me.
That was very E-Rock. It was.
Compare me in any way to dude. E-Rock is so cool. Have you gotten to meet him at all?
I have not. He's actually someone else I would love to have on and do a pack of his stuff.
Yeah, E-Rock is
amazing.
Yeah, he's been doing it longer than I have, I think, too. But he's absolutely wonderful. I met him at NAMM this year for the first time in person, but we've obviously talked because of all of the Initial D covers with Rich and stuff, and we've talked about doing stuff in the past. But yeah, he's, and he was part of the Mario medley. Yeah, so I was like talking to him about that too.
That was I love that little nice shot in there.
Yeah. Again, Matt is a genius. Matt, ArtificialFear.
Too good. Okay, I've got a question for you that I saw it come up earlier in the chat too, because it looks like you did have a lot of fun with this.
Yes.
But you've done a lot of other video shoots with, like for example with E-Rock, not in person, but with Rich for the Initial D stuff. How did those video shoots compare to something like this? Like gas that you guys just did.
Gas was crazy. Mostly just because, I mean, you know, Caleb and John playing off each other is always a treat. Like there's parts where Rich is actually like, he's laughing so hard at the stuff that they're doing that like his sides hurt. Like you know, he's actually wincing in pain for, like, we were both like you know, laughing so hard, like pushing them in those little cars and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's always just been silly, you know what I mean? Like like these videos, like Otherworld and Wii Sports, like we really went out of our way to like go to different locations and do weird stuff.
Yeah.
And like kind of made like a full production day of it. Whereas Rich is super like chill about like all of his shoots. Like when we did Running in the 90s, we were just like, hey, we set up some lights outside, you know, like let's do all of your parts and get you done as soon as possible, and then I'll do all of my close-up shots like after you guys are done. You guys can leave. Like super accommodating for both, you know, me, John, and Caleb. And so in a way they were still super fun, but they were super focused. They were focused for me, at least. We're focused on like one time frame, like a quick time frame that is like, all right, we just need you for these few shots and then you're done. With these, we went really hard. But again, those were Rich's projects, so I'm sure for him it was a different experience, whereas it is for this.
Makes sense. Makes sense entirely. I'm just curious. I was curious how they compared. Was the word I was thinking for there. We just played through the entire pack, and that flew by. I felt like we've only been doing this for like a few minutes, and I just looked down and I was like, man, we've actually been going for a while, man.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. And I'm so happy with how this all turned out. Big thank you to everybody who helped out with the pack. So that's not just like Zero who helped arrange everything, but Ritto, Joey D, Chezzy, Miss Moo is in this pack. Burplet Turtle, Mercury. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. I think that's everybody.
Dude, for me, it's like I can't. It's such a crazy thing to think that somebody like listened to my cover that long to have to arrange something like this. So it's like the biggest form of flattery. It's just absolutely like I can't I can't even fathom. Like, thank you guys so much for doing those charts. Like, you guys did an amazing job. I'm so thankful that you wanted to do my music. Like, I'm so grateful.
Milestones. What are things that you're looking forward to other than just the album drop coming with your band? What are things that you are, give me three, things that you're looking forward to maybe in the next year of what you are looking to do next for your career? What are you doing that's, what road are you looking to journey in this next year that you are hoping to reach certain milestones? What are the ones that you're looking to get towards next?
I would love to be making music for video games. Composing. I've got a lot of jobs. I've got a lot of upcoming things that are really, really exciting. My main goal here is to be able to compose for games while on the side continuing to make covers on YouTube. So I would love to be a little bit further along with composing for indie games. I love RPG music. I'd love to write stuff for that, especially like battle themes and stuff. Of course, again, man, it's like what I said earlier. It's just like you look at even just like 2 years ago. Like, do you think you would believe you if you told you that you were this far along at that point? It's like I like to keep things open, just like keep on going super hard and just doing what I love and working really, really hard at it and hoping
Yeah.
hoping for the best. And honestly, that's what John Petrucci told me too, man. He's
Right.
just like he was just nothing beats hard work, man. You just that's the secret to all of this. Is just you have to work super hard, and whatever that thing is that you work hard at, make sure it's something that you love, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Ain't that
So
the truth?
I'm looking forward to whatever comes my way.
Jules, thank you so much, man. I'm wrap
My
up this
pleasure.
call on my side and get back to wrapping up with these guys here, and I will definitely catch you very soon, friend.
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
Thank you so much for taking your time today, dude.
Bye, chat. Love you guys.
Take care, Jules.